Welcome everybody to another Seems Good Magic video. I'm your host Sam Rubin. As always, don't forget to check out my YouTube and Twitch. Links are in the description below. Please go check out my Twitch and hit that heart follow button. It means a lot to me. I've been streaming a lot lately, something like 40 hours in the last 4 days alone. So really pushing everything over there. We have about 15 to 30 peeps in the chat at a time. Maybe we can get to like 50 in a few weeks. You know, who knows? Making moves, taking monstrous onslaughts here. Card is just always a 2-for-1, sometimes a 3-for-1. Now, I do love me a Hungry Flames. Don't get me wrong. I am a sucker for red, but I think green is the best color, and I think Monstrous Onslaught is a dang good magic card. Whatever, Paradox Engine. Not worried about you, Mythic Rare. Is it absurd that I just want Walking Ballista more than anything else in my life right now? I want a Walking Ballista more than I want a Monstrous Onslaught, and I really want a Monstrous Onslaught. Also take like a Ridge Scale, whatever. Ooh, Aspire, a Pacification Array, a Chandra's Revolution. Just going to take an array here. It's very good. Could take a Lifecraft Cavalry, could take a Chandra's Revolution. All those cards are totally reasonable, but Pacification Array is the best of the bunch here. Spire of Industry is fine, but not fantastic. I mean, I guess if you want the 2 ticks, you can take that. But we're trying to win a draft, so we're going to take a Pacification Array here. And we're going to be pretty happy about it. Monstrous Onslaught's a great card. It goes very well with Lifecraft Cavalry, but Pacification Array goes in basically every single deck, right? It taps for Improvised mana. You can do artifact shenanigans with it, like Quicksmith Genius or Quicksmith Rebel or whatever those cards are called. So it does a lot of things. It's great long game. It's great early game. It's a removal spell that has a lot of versatility, right? It's a removal spell that hits artifacts. It's a removal spell that hits vehicles. I mean, it's a removal spell that you can use twice in one turn if you're trying to get through for a lot of damage. It's a very, very good magic card. With Monstrous Onslaught, I'm just going to take a Druid of the Cowl here. Could take a Windkin Raiders. Oath of Ajani is not fantastic. Could take a Chandra's Revolution, but I'm just going to take a Druid. If this is coming to us third pick, green is probably a little open, and so we just want to clamp down the hammer, right? We get a great first pick, a fantastic second pick. We see the best color in the draft, and we just got to snatch it up. So that's what we're going to do here. Take a nice Druid of the Cowl. I'm a little jazzed today. Sorry about being so jazzed. No music right now. I'm still working everything. New studio. I did a little preview on my channel, Samuel Rubin, so you can either go there or I can just kind of show you real quick. Got the new crisp 1080p webcam, so hope that's working out well. Got the new mic, the nice audio foam. We're doing the whole thing. We're doing it big. We're doing it right over here in Sam Rubin production land. Oops, sorry for that. We're all good now. So thank you everybody for watching. As always, nice little Lifecraft Cavalry, nice little Reckless Racer. But we're going to go with the Cavalry. Again, very, very good green card. Fantastic with Monstrous Onslaught. Great with Druid of the Cowl. And I mean, a 6... Who didn't like a 6/6? Who doesn't like a 6/6 Trampler for 4? When you can play it on turn 4, it's just absurdly good. Now, the issue with playing it on turn 4 is that oftentimes, if you're going to play it on turn 4, it's going to be hard to hit that Revolt, but sometimes you can hit it, right? Sometimes you can play a Druid, you can play something on turn 1, you can play a Druid, you can play something on turn 3, you can attack, they block, you get to play Lifecraft Cavalry, something like that. So there are times for that. Also, Unbridled Growth is a really good way to... Unbridled Growth, I'm sorry, I have to move this a second. Unbridled Growth is a really good way to hit Revolt, you know, on those turns. So another Chandra's Revolution. We can't pass this one. Just going to have to take this one. Would like a Lifecraft Cavalry, but it seems like these are going to be pretty free to get in this draft. And you have to understand there are things like Riparian Tigers in the next set that we want just as badly as Cavalry. So Cavalry is better than Riparian Tiger for sure, for sure, for sure. But we don't need 2 this early, and Chandra's Revolution is a spell that we might want to clamp down on. So if we see that red is open, Chandra's Revolution is the card to take. Red-green is great because of how good Voltaic Brawler is, right? Voltaic Brawler is just such a strong card in the next set. Red isn't a fantastic color by itself in, you know, by any measure, but being able to get usually about 0.75 above Voltaic Brawler is very good. And if you can cut red and green, you can get some of those boars, the 4/4 for 4 boar in this set. So very, very good uncommon gold cards and just a strong color combination. Gonna take an Unbridled Growth. This does not hurt you. In fact, it lets you splash sometimes, and it's good with Lifecraft Cavalry. So definitely taking it. Another Druid of the Cowl. Just taking the clamping it down. I don't know why I'm so jazzed up. We're getting there. We're building a deck. I don't know what kind of deck we're building. We're building a deck that hopefully gets our opponent's life from 20 to 0 very quickly. Cards we would like to see: Untethered Express, Renegade Freighter, Walking Ballista. Did I say Untethered Express already? Untethered Express. Lots of stuff like that. I'm probably not playing Implement of Examination. I'm just not a huge fan. If I'm playing one of these black cards, it's probably Aether Poisoner. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the side bizzle. But anyways, hope everyone's having a good day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash the like button, make a comment. I respond to each and every person. I mean, that's a lie. I try to respond to each and every person. If you have commented on a video that was like more than a week old, I probably haven't checked the comments, and so I have not responded. But if you comment on a video within like the week it's put out, I'm going to check and for sure be in there hanging out with you. I'm going to take a Night Market Aeronaut here. A little better than Restore for Return. Not, I mean, Augmenting Automaton is fine, but I think Night Market Aeronauts might be a little better. Here we can get a Welder Automaton, a Renegade's Getaway, or a Natural Obsolescence. I'm going to take the Automaton. Sometimes in these ramp decks, you don't mind, you know, having a little bit of reach at the end of the game, you know, something that can do between like 3 and 6 points if you needed to. So I'm going to take that. Also, I don't love Obsolescence, especially when there's Appetite for the Unnaturals in the next pack, and it's a common, so you're bound to see 1 or, you know, 2 or 3 at the table. You're going to see 1 on average. Going to take a Filigree Crawler here. Not a fantastic magic card, but a fine magic card. And we get a High Spire Infusion over a Lathnu Sailback. Again, if we need 5s, there are plenty of those to go around. And High Spire Infusion is actually very good if you pair it with any of the Aether cards, right? Like Aether, you know, any of the blue ones, the black one like Aether Poisoner, so Aether Chaser, Aether Poisoner, or it's just good with the cards in the next set, like, you know, whatever, Rhinos and things like that. So we get a nice little Quicksmith Spy here, which is just a fantastic magic card. What else do we get? Hidden Herbalist isn't fantastic. Shock is fine. Shock goes with Chandra's Revolution, but Quicksmith Spy is really just a bomb. And we have 7 cards here, and we're not really in another color as of yet. So I'm totally okay taking a Spy here. Spy is just too good to pass. I really think it's a top 5 card in the set. You need artifacts to make it happen, but that's not too much of an issue in this set. Like, we can really make artifacts happen if we need to, and I think Quicksmith Spy is just a fantastic card. Oh, wow. Now we get Onslaught or Greenbelt Rampager. I really think Onslaught's better, but Greenbelt Rampager might be better. Onslaught's really, really, really good. But we already have 1, and it is expensive. But it's usually a blowout, is the thing about it. But Greenbelt Rampager definitely just gets in there. Alright, I'm going to take a Rampager. I'm going to ram a page over the countryside here. We're going to see what happens. We already have 1. If we didn't have 1, I would have taken the other card for sure. I'm going to take a Malfist Revolutionary. We have a ton of energy and a ton of counters. So I think I'm going to take a Revolutionary over a Prey Upon here. We have a Pacification Array and a Monstrous Onslaught, and we can get Hunt the Weeks, and we might be able to find another Prey Upon later, and rely on creatures with only 4 right now. So that being said, I'm going to take a Malfist Revolutionary, although I'm not entirely sure that is correct. I just really, really think it's a great magic card. Here we get a Consulate Dreadnought we're not excited about. We get a Cruel Finality we're not excited about. We get a Lifecraft Awakening we're really not excited about. I mean, I guess if we're making a lot of, if our plan is to have a lot of artifacts, then this card's great, especially with Malfist Revolutionary. But I'm not sure that's our plan. We can just take a Cruel Finality here, right? Like, if we end up in black, then it's going to be fine. We don't need another High Spire Infusion. I think it's going to be better than Implement of Malice in black, so all those things are worth considering. So I'm just going to take it and put it here in the board. Hope of Ghirapur is fine, but not anything I'm very excited to play. Here we get a Narniam Renegade, just another 1-drop that attacks and is great, so definitely going to be slamming that here. And we get a black Implement, a Filigree Crawler, an Embrol, Gear Smasher, or Destructive Tampering, and a Natural Obsolescence. So no blue, No blue anything for Quix's Spy. Don't really need another Filbert Crawler. We'll take an Implement of Malice, though. This card could work with our Night Marker Aeronauts. It could work with our Lifecraft Cavalry. It could work with our Quicksmith Spy if we end up splashing a Spy. There are a lot of ways it could go. I think we're very far away from white, or else I would consider Decommission. Don't love Fenhauler. As I said, you can get a lot of big things in the next pack. I mean, even Cowl Prowlers are fine when you have 2 Druid of the Cowls. So, don't want to really stay in red for Emerald Gear Smasher, and Natural Obsolescence again is very replaceable, so I'm just going to take an Implement. We get another Cavalry. We get a Dawn Feather Eagle, which is fantastic, but not in our color. We get a Verdant Automaton, which is great and in our color. I'm just going to take the Lifecraft Cavalry here, right? We already have an Unbridled Growth, and we now have an Implement of Malice that we're considering playing, and all of a sudden a 6/6 4/5 becomes a much better investment, especially when you can consistently play it on turn 4 off a Druid. So that, I mean, all things we want to be doing now. Very happy with the main deck so far. The mono green life is a good life to lead for sure. Just trying to figure out a few of the details, what color we're splashing, etc., etc. That being said, Aether Leopard, fantastic Magic card. Goes very well with Malphus Revolutionary, goes very well with Green Rampager, etc., etc. Goes very well with High Spire Infusion, goes very well with killing your opponent. This is an interesting one. I think we just take a Dawn Feather Eagle here. I mean, we're not so short on playables that we're going to need to play an Augmenting Automaton or a Negate. We could play an Augmenting Automaton, but I'm not psyched about it in the heavy green deck. And Dawn Feather Eagle is just a very, very good card. So I'm going to take it here. We get a Resourceful Return or another Night Marker Aeronaut. We already have a Filbert Crawler in the board, so if we need to play a Crawler, we're going to be able to play a Crawler. That's not an issue. We already have a Night Marker Aeronaut in the board, and I have a hard time imagining us playing 2, so I'm just going to take a Resourceful Return. Another Implement and a 4th Bridge Prowler. 4th Bridge Prowler is surprisingly good. Just very surprisingly strong. We could also take a Destructive Tampering, or we could take another Implement of Malice. We do have 2 Lifecraft Cavalries here. I think I'm actually going to take a Destructive Tampering. Because if we do end up red, we're going to want it. I don't think we want 2 High Spire Infusions, but we could. We have Aether Leopard, Greenbelt Rampager, 1/2 cards that really care. We probably don't need more. I'm going to take a 4th Bridge Prowler in case we end up wanting to play that card. It's actually been surprisingly good. There are a lot of X1s in the format, right? Audacious Infiltrator in white is an X1. Aether Chaser in red is an X1. Aether Poisoner in black is an X1. Thriving Grubs in red is an X1. A lot of X1s. Night Market Guard, which is sometimes played, but not super widely played, but sometimes played in colorless, is an X1. I mean, there are a lot of X1s. Welder Automaton is an X1. Do I even need to continue? Come on. So many X1s to get with a 4th Bridge Prowler. Also in the black decks, a lot of them have Salvager, Defined Salvagers. So if worse comes to worse, you can just sacrifice your 4th Bridge Prowler to Salvager. 4th Bridge Prowler also has the added bonus of making Revolt happen, because it just deals -1/-1 to itself, and then you get Revolt. So have definitely done that a few times. Choo choo. Choo choo. No brakes. They ain't no brakes on this train. I love me a Snare Thopter, but ugh. How many brakes? There's no brakes. Just 0 brakes? 0 brakes. Oh my god, aggro green deck with no brakes is an aggro green deck with no brakes. It's fantastic. Would love a Kujar Seed Sculptor. Would really dig a Long Tusk Cub in the spot. Would really dig a Wispreaver Angel. Would really dig a Thriving Grubs or a Malphus Doorbuster. What else could we really dig? Dawn Feather Eagle Wispreaver Angel is a tight combo. Also, I wouldn't mind... So if we're playing Chandra Revolution or Welder Automaton, which I don't hate, by the way. I don't hate the idea of that. I think we would take Malphus Revolutionary over Thriving Grubs. So how many +1/+1 counters do we have? We have 1, 2, 3... Plus Malphus Revolutionary could make another one. I can't pronounce cards. Someone said that in one of my other things. It's just 100% true. I have a really, really difficult time pronouncing cards, and I have no idea why. I'm not sure we have to get into another color now, but if we are, Wispreaver Angel seems like the pick. The problem is we haven't seen a ton of white. Fairground's Trumpeter, though, isn't fantastic in this spot, right? We just have the Revolutionary, I guess, and the 2 Cavalries and the Renegade. Huh. Is it better just to take a Thriving Grubs, as silly as it sounds? Yeah, I think so. Ugh, I just need a 2-drop. rewarded. Rewarded with a bomb rare. Again, could take a servant here, but I think we just take the very, very good rare, right? Alright, full on red-green ramp here. This is what's popping now. Skyship Stalker, Chandra's Revolution, Thriving Grubs, ready to go. Very, very happy with the Stalker in all these decks. I mean, if you ever get to cast it, it's just... I mean, your opponent has to immediately respond to it, right? It just blocks everything on the board. It kills them very quickly. If you draw it in the late game, it's good. So here we are. We don't mind a tune with Aethers in this spot. Quicksmith Spy is probably not going to be playable in this deck. We would love another 2-drop, right? Obviously, we're not going to get a Longtusk Cub, but we would like a Servant of the Conduit, for instance, if we could get another shot at one here. But that being said, what we're looking for is, out of the next 6 cards that we're going to add to our deck, I would say we want 2 more 2-drops, a 3-drop, and a 4-drop. And then, you know, fill in the rest later. We could take an Oval Chase Dragster here or a Narnam Cobra. We have a ton of top end, though. I think we just take the Cobra, right? I think it being an artifact is relatively relevant. Relatively relevant, yeah. And I think it being, yeah, I think it's good enough. I don't think we need the other thing yet. We could take a Doorbuster here or another Fairground or a Fairground Trumpeter. We get another shot. This time we have a Thriving Grubs, which makes the Trumpeter a little more interesting, but the Doorbuster does work with all the energy sub-theme stuff we have going on, and it's a 4-drop, so we're going to have to try to pick up a 3-drop here. Maybe the first Trumpeter will wheel. I don't really know, but I am kind of happy with where we ended up. We could also always main deck a Destructive Tampering or a Filigree Crawler if we don't get their unplayables, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to figure out a way to get their unplayables. So, that being said, this deck seems pretty solid so far. Another Grubs or an Appetite for the Unnatural. I think it's just another Grubs. I mean, having a bunch of 2-drops that attack with 3 power is just very, very good in this format. And we have a Combat Trick and we have a Pacification Array. Like, I'm all for it here. I think we're down with the beatdown, so to speak. Ooh, this is not a good pack for us, but I'm just going to put a Terror of the Fairgrounds in the board. I think I'd rather play a Terror of the Fairgrounds than a Filigree Crawler here, maybe. Ooh, and a Tiger. Gonna take Tiger over Edgecrafters for one simple reason. This attacks for 6, so it's much better. It's a tad better with Monstrous Onslaught. We also don't have any use for the tokens, and also it can provide energy or use energy, and that's something that we're going to be able to make with Malphist Revolutionary pretty regularly. We might consider taking the Edgecrafters if we already had one of the Trumpeters, but that being said, turn 4 Riparian Tiger is just absurd. We got a nice little Ornamental Courage here, another trick to go on our deck. We could consider a Ballista Charger, but we just don't have to. It's also not that bad that we're light on 3s, right? Because Druid of the Cowl is going to let us skip 3 a lot. So sometimes we'll just go straight to 4. We'll be able to cast a Stalker or a Doorbuster, or we'll be able to kill their whatever it is with Chandra's Revolution or something like that. So we're going to be able to make that play fairly often. Again, I would really, I think like... a Thriving Rhino would like really put this deck over the top, but obviously we're not going to find that this late in the draft here. Just going for a takedown. I can't imagine we're getting any other reasonable playables the rest of this pack. So then we have to figure out if we're playing a Filigree Crawler, if we're playing a Terror of the Fairgrounds, if we're splashing a Quicksmith Spy, which I don't think we are, if we're playing a Destructive Tampering, which we might be. So all that being said, I'm kind of tempted to play a Tampering. Huh. Or just another Ornamental Courage. That's probably not as good. Wow, I'm just going to hate this Dund Operative. I mean, there's no reason for it to be in the pack here. Oh, wow. Could we actually play black now? 1, 2... Black might actually just be... Wait, so we're giving up 2 Thriving Grubs, a Welder Automaton, and our 4-drops for 4th Bridge Patrol, Fenhauler, Dun Operative. Nah, it's probably not better. Alright, I think I'm just going to play a Filigree Crawler here. I kind of want to play one more card. I'll play a Destructive Tampering. Not too bad here. Alright, 24 cards it's going to be. We have 2 Druid of the Cowls, and we have an Unbridled Growth, so that is kind of why I'm going light on the cards here. I really don't like 11-5, especially with the Skyship Stalker. I feel much more comfortable 10-6 here, even 9-7. with the 2 grubs and the Stalker. Like, Malthus Revolutionary is great on turn 3, but sometimes we just won't have it. We also do have an Unbridled Growth that we can put on a mountain to make an extra green source, and we have Druid of the Cowls. So I'm pretty comfortable with this. Here we go, round number 1. See you all there. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and sub button, and, you know, make a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'll respond. We'll have a nice discussion in the chat. You can go check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/SamBot49. It's all going to be good in the hood. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for round number 1.